Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Sara Mehle, Index Research Strategist at Nasdaq Investment Intelligence, to discuss trends in cybersecurity and how investors can track those themes via an index. Of course, October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so great timing for this. Sara, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to TradeTalks, and give us a high-level overview of the trends that you're seeing in the cyberspace.
Hey, Jill, great to be here today, and great to talk all things cyber. As you mentioned, Cybersecurity Awareness Month. While we've seen some innovation and advancements in and around cyber, we know that there is still room for growth. I think that is one of the biggest takeaways here. Recent research published by McKinsey cited that the total addressable market for cybersecurity is estimated at 1.5 to 2 trillion globally. So really, we've only kind of penetrated here about 10%. Additionally, artificial intelligence has been a huge theme and driver of the markets this year, and it's relevant to cybersecurity. On the upside, it's expected to help assist security analysts and to simplify traditional tools to make things more efficient, a little bit easier to use. But on the other hand, it seems like there's always a pro and a con. But on the other hand, AI is also set to transform the threat landscape. Bad actors have developed new attack strategies with generative AI, necessitating more sophisticated solutions. So again, with the good comes the bad. One other trend is around consolidation. We're seeing a push for a single cybersecurity solution, since overall these can be difficult to scale, meaning that we'll most likely see some consolidation take place in the industry. Most recently, we saw Cisco announce a potential acquisition of Splunk. But overall, we just wanted to highlight, if investors were looking for a way to track the cybersecurity space, we have the ISE Cybersecurity Usage Index, which tracks companies that are actively involved in providing cybersecurity technology and services. And this index dates back to December of 2010.
And Sara, let's take a look at the index a bit more. How is it constructed?
We start with a selection of securities from the ISE Cybersecurity Index. So this is an index that is comprised of direct service providers, hardware and software developers, and for cybersecurity. And cyber must be a key driver of the business. And this is selected per the Index Security Selection Committee. Once we have that universe, we then have some liquidity and listing screens. So it must be listed on a Nasdaq eligible exchange and have some current average daily traded volume requirements for new and current members. We also have an ESG screen, so must have a Sustainalytics controversy rating of 4 or lower, so cannot have 5. Must be in compliance with the UNGC principles and other related norms and standards, and must not have any involvement in certain degrees in prohibited business areas, so controversial weapons, shale energy, small arms. These are just a few, but there is that ESG screen as well. And then finally, the quarterly evaluation. This is rebalanced and reconstituted quarterly and in January, April, July, and October. It is rebalanced using a modified equal weighting index methodology. It has 24 holdings minimum. Right now we have 41, and the next reconstitution will be effective as of October 23rd, so just here in a few weeks.
All right, and what about the top 10 holdings in the index?
Yes, I just wanted to mention some of the top 10 holdings here. Splunk, as I mentioned, Darktrace, Fastly, Akamai, Qualys, Cisco is up there as well. So as I mentioned, equal weighted. So we do see these weightings in and around that 5%, between 4.5%, 5%. Of course, when this is rebalanced, those will all go back to equal weight. From an industry sector exposure, we do see about 91% in technology, again, using ICB industry groups, about 8% in telecom, and just under 10 basis points there for industrials. And I do want to mention that about 75% of the index is coming from countries domiciled in the United States, and the rest does provide some global exposure. So again, some names that you may or may not know, but that's the beauty of using these diving deeper into the key drivers within the business to really find these unique names to track the space.
And finally, what about performance versus competitor products?
Yes, we have a few competitor products up on the screen: the iShares Digital Security ETF, First Trust Nasdaq Cybersecurity ETF, the WisdomTree Cybersecurity Usage Fund, and again, we're discussing the ISE Cybersecurity Usage Index. So we do see that this index is outperforming on a 5 and 10-year trailing basis, annualized, through September 29th of 2023, up about 12.5% on the 10-year annualized basis and about 9% on 5. Year to date, we do see this fund outperforming 2 of its competitors, but it is currently trailing the WisdomTree Cybersecurity Index. Also seeing strong performance there the 6 month and 1 year. But overall, again, we're seeing that long-term strength here, driven by those names selected by the index committee. And this index is tracked by the Legal and General Cybersecurity UCITS ETF, symbol iSpy. So for those looking for exposure via the HUR index.
All right, Sara, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.